haunting since time began. Raw side paranormal seeks the truth, looking for some kind of real proof. Creepy floorboards and eerie dark mist. Grab your camera and document this. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your REM pods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the wrong side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your REM pods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. The icy air touches your neck. You feel like screaming, but you stay in check. All's rising up to take the magical flight. You can't believe what's happening tonight. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side.
Hello, 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 everybody. Happy hump day to you guys. How is everybody on this great Wednesday? I hope everybody is well. I'm surviving. It was a warm one today. I was so nice, used to the nice cool weather, and we got nailed again, 80 degrees. But it's starting to cool down finally. So if you hear any noise in the background, it's the fans because it's hot in here. How's everybody doing? I'm so glad you guys could come to hang out on open mic night. Let's see, we've got Dragon. Hello. Hi, Sherry. How's it going? Miss Pinky Pinky. And there's our wonderful Miss Cree. Love it, love it, love it. And we have James with us tonight as well. Love it all, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. And what have you guys been up to? We are midweek finally. I'm counting down the days because I'm taking off on Friday for a couple of days. I'm so looking forward to it. Overdue. I need time to refresh and become human again. How's it going there, Ace? How is everybody? I hope everybody is well. Don't forget, guys, the posts are up in my post sections on my page about voting for a sexy man and sexy woman for a paranormal for the spit it out for the paranormal. It's for the magazine. So cast your votes. It's couple of them, they're pretty close. So yeah, get your votes in before it comes down by the 25th. Hello, Miss Dutswood. How are you? It's happy Thursday morning there. Oh, that's right. You time warp. That's right. 11 to 2 a.m. Oh my goodness. I know, they just like freaks me out. A cold spell compared to there, it's 91. Oh my. Whoa. Ugh, I don't miss that. At least it's still cool at night. That's all I got to say about that. Thank God for that, because I don't want to have to turn the air conditioning back on. It's kicking my butt this year. I had to have it out almost all the time. And I'm really not a big fan of it, but it was so hot you couldn't even breathe. Oh, I'm glad you're great, Ace. I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. This, everyday struggles, trying to keep everything here going. Just to take it a day at a time. It's all I can do. And thanks to everybody who's submitting stories and stuff for the magazine. I really appreciate it. And if you do still have something that you want to submit, you have till the 25th. And then just send it to my email address, rawparanormal8@gmail.com. And I will get it and put it in. Cooking dinner. What are you making? What do you make? We had pizza. I had to make it quick. Hello, Miss Susan. How is Miss Susan tonight? Oh, Pinky voted. Okay. Actually, Susan's in the lead, guys. Woohoo! Sexy Susan is in the lead. I'm glad you all could come hang. If you feel like popping in, Susan, you can. I'll send you the link. It's up to you. Come chat for just a little bit because I know you got to go to bed early. But, you guys, I love doing the open mic nights because it gives a chance to talk about anything and everything and ask your questions or whatever. Voice your opinions. Pork tenderloin with jalapeno cornbread stuffing and carrots. Oh, that sounds good. Do you make a sauce to go over your pork tenderloin or just regular gravy? I mean, how do you serve it up? I love a good pork tenderloin. Yes, Ace voted for Miss Victoria. Ooh, the dark temptress of the paranormal world. Oh, yes, dragons. Oh, yes, send them. I'm actually looking for dragons to put in my studio. I was looking today. It's bad. I got to stay off of Amazon. Oh, I buy stuff that I'm not supposed to. But actually, the last thing I bought is actually for the studio for the Halloween show. So I justified that purchase. And it was as cheap as I could get it. But, you got to have a little special effect for the spooky season. I use the drippings to pour over. Oh, nice. Nice. Making me hungry, and I'm not even hungry. I'm still full from dinner. But I do enjoy a pork tenderloin. And it's like one of the easiest things to cook. Do you cook yours in the crock pot? Because that's how I do mine. Victoria Darkwood, she's amazing. Yes, she is awesome. She is. Susan is the bomb. And let's see, who's in the lead for the men? Oh, Alicio is in the lead for the guys so far. It's a tight race between him and Jimmy. So yeah, just get out there and cast your votes if you didn't yet. Did you finish sewing your witch's rose? Yes, I did. I got that finished. A little tweaking I want to do. I don't want to overdo it because you guys really aren't going to see the whole thing. You're only going to see like from here up. But and I did it all by hand. It's stupid. I should have just whipped out the machine, but I was being lazy. And it was easier just to sit here and watch videos and just stitch it up with by hand. Even though my hands weren't too happy about it, but that's just the way I did it. I have hundreds of dragons since I have been drawing and creating them for the last 4 years. Oh, send me some. Yeah, we'll put them in. Artwork by Pinky, definitely. It's marinated for an hour and then baked low and slow for 3 hours. Oh, boy. I bet it's yummy. Bet it is yummy. Yeah, if I don't get it pre-marinated, because we can get them here pre-marinated. There's one that we like. It's kind of peppery. And I'll throw it in a crock pot and, it's just like low and slow for, 3 to 4 hours. And, it just comes out fantastic. And then again, just using the drippings for gravy. Hi, Simon. Welcome. I love dragons, but when I moved, my collection was smashed in the room. Oh, no. Oh, that sucks. I seen one today online. I don't know where you can get it. I should have looked into it, but they had them sitting on their shoulders, and they actually moved, and their wings moved, and it was like it was alive. I'm thinking, oh man, I'd love to have that, but I couldn't find it. They would have been so awesome. I would have had it perched on my shoulder during the show. Look at my little friend, So yes, send them in. They will go into the magazine. I got some pretty good stories. One I'm actually going to be reading on the Halloween show live. So that's it's really going to be pretty cool. It's an amazing story. But yeah, that's so sad that they smashed. I would have been pissed. I would have been, yeah. Was it the movers' fault, or you guys moved yourself and it was an accident? And I had somebody move me one time, and they slammed on the brakes and all the stuff went flying. They busted up some of my furniture. I was really, really upset. And the stuff was packed well and covered. It's just by slamming on the brakes, everything smashed into the back door. And excuse me, I got chips in the furniture. I was not happy. I've been asked to join a coven, but I'm weary. Yeah, I would be. Check them all out. See what kind of people you're dealing with. See what kind of egos you're dealing with. Usually, yeah, the one that's in charge. I mean, if they're not, decent folk, you're gonna have issues with, a dominancy, and it shouldn't be that way. So yeah, check it all out before you even say yes. It was the movers. I never got the compensation. Oh, I would have been I would have made sure I got the compensation. I would have said, you're going to pay me for it, or it's coming out of your ass. Sorry, but that's how I would have said it. Hello, Sage. How are you tonight? Yes, even Susan says, get to know the people. It could be a hot mess. Susan knows. Yeah, Susan knows a little bit more on that than I do. I feel a path to Wicca is a single path. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to join a coven. It's just like any other religious group. The purpose is to be, have community, which is wonderful. If it's a wonderful group. But some of them, I mean, are really extremists. Some, like I said, you've got, ego issues and so yeah, get to know them first. See how they do their thing before you even go in that direction. Oh no, you're getting a cold. It's too early for that. No colds. No colds. I'm not even looking forward to that. When people start getting the sniffles and stuff, I'm locking myself in the house. I hate being sick. I don't want it. Even though it's probably better just to get out there and expose yourself to the germs, less chance of getting sick. But I hate the winter. As soon as it gets like, 0 and stuff like that, that's it. I don't go outside. Not sure what gods I should worship. Meditate on it, Simon. Whatever one that you feel you are drawn to the most, what you're comfortable with, what you believe in. That'll help, lead you down the right path. Yeah, cold, especially in the summer. Summer colds are the worst. You're already hot and miserable, and then you're sick, and you got a temperature. And I've been dealing with allergies this whole summer. Usually it's just a little bit. This whole summer's been miserable. Actually, just before the show started, my eyes started watering. I'm thinking, oh, come on, really? Let's start that crap now. So I'm hoping to, when I, get up on the mountain, fresh air, clean air by the lake, then everything will just clear right out. I'll feel better. Keep your cold to yourself. I get a cold. It just goes into my lungs. Oh no, that's yeah. And then you get that horrible cough, and I sound like shit for some reason today. Sorry, guys. Yeah, frogs in there. Kick them out. Get out. You didn't pay the rent. Last time I was sick, I ended up with laryngitis, and I still haven't fully recovered. I think it did damage to my vocal cords. Because you guys know you've heard me say I like to sing, and I can't hit them high notes anymore, guys. It won't come out. So I think there was some damage there, and I was hoping it would heal up. I mean, it'll be almost a year, and it's still not the same. So I might as well just say goodbye to that, I guess. But yes, feel better soon. Get some soup in you and some vitamins, and I've even maybe Norse or Greek. Oh, look both into those. Look into both histories of both groups, and see what is more appealing to you. Internally, not just look, I read this is pretty cool. See what you're drawn to more. And it's always better to know the history and read the teachings and the traditions, and that's what you're going to be drawn to. Hello, Pomp. How are you? I was checking out the different documentaries and movie YouTubers have been making. It's interesting to me how the movie industry is opening up for YouTubers. Yeah, it's like with Jimmy and the other guys there with their documentaries and stuff. They're getting an equal opportunity because they're finding out that people on YouTube have talent, and they know their stuff. I mean, why would you, again, there are people out there that would put out something ridiculous, but look at Joe and Matt and them. They were 7 years, and they finally have it finished and it's out. Jimmy, same thing. 3-4 years, finally finished and out. So it's they're being recognized at least, which is great. Let's see. Dragon says you could always start eclectic and not choose which specific gods to worship right away. Follow all of them to a point. Yeah, we just see what your you'll know when it's right. It's with any religious belief. I mean, you'll know deep inside when you've been involved with it and you studied the teachings and the traditions, and you'll know when it's right for you. When you get into something like and I'm going to use I'll probably get in trouble, Scientology, for example. It might have that draw, but then you find out inside what's going on and it's ugly. Get out, just get the hell out, and but you get trapped. And that's what they do. They trap you by friends and family members that are already in it. And it's with any religious denomination or belief. You always go with what you feel is right for you. I feel like my path is with the light. Well, then you follow that path. And anytime you doubt something, that's a warning. It's don't let people talk you into that. It's a warning. If it's not right in your gut, it's telling you it's wrong. And you move along. You do it your own way. A lot of people, like I said, they join covens and stuff like that because they're looking for community, which is wonderful. But a lot of them are lost, and so they're looking for direction. And unfortunately, being ignorant to that specific group or what they're doing, that's where the screw up is. And they know it's wrong on the inside, but they're pretty much being brainwashed into thinking, no, what you're thinking is wrong. The way we're doing it is right. Yes, meditate on it. Yes. And as Susan's right, only what you feel is your true calling. So yeah, just if it feels right to you, then that's the way you go. Well, you know what it is, Pop? It's just not. It's that's why I never say that I'm religious. I am spiritual because religions are corrupted by man. The human race has corrupted religion and its teachings. If you follow the true path of what the religious teachings were, uh, or documented as, you have better luck with that because then man puts a twist on it and will make it in his favor. And then this group of people believe it to be, gospel. It's so I always tell people, you're not a bad, Christian or anyone that's in a religious group. You're not a bad parishioner because you don't go to the church all the time. It's just that, no matter where you are, uh, you can have that religious experience. It doesn't have to be one specific building. If you're going to live it, it's in your life every day. Wondering whether being a male, the triple-headed goddess, would be applicable. It's just you do your own thing, Simon. Do your own thing. It seems right to you, then that's like I said, whatever seems right to you. No matter what it is, none of the rules are written in stone. You got to remember because years ago, all those rules were made up by somebody. So I don't worship any gods. I just love things of wonder and mystical things. Dragons are in my heart all of the time, though. Oh, okay. You're a dragon worshiper, Pinky. And that's okay. You know, I believe there's a creator. You call him God. I believe in God. I believe he created everything that is around us, in us. And, he gave us the gift of life and we do what we can with it to the best of our ability. Always appreciate it, no matter how crappy it gets, because we've all had those crappy days. But tomorrow is always a new beginning. So, yeah, I am going by my gut. Yeah, that's what I would do. You go by your gut. Because you know the difference between right and wrong. So if you are doing something that you feel deep down inside is wrong, then it's most likely wrong for you. Your gender has nothing to do with it. If you feel the triple-headed goddess is right, then look into that. Yeah, see, dragon's right. Yeah, just you do your homework. You just do your homework. That's why I always encourage people to always look into other types of religion and stuff like that. Because what you are practicing now, you might not feel whole. You're missing something. So when you look into other avenues, there might be something else out there that fills that gap that that hole that you're missing. So you just, you have to, it's a smart thing to do is to look around. People go on about 7 deadly sins. By the way, I see it. If man as a race followed them to the letter, surely we would all be better people. So how can they be sins? Well, we all have sin. And you know what sin is. It's just doing things that are just morally wrong. Um, and if everybody screws up. If you truly sorry for what you've done, and I mean truly to your core that you're sorry, things are forgiven. We're not perfect. We're human. We're flawed. And see, even today, like I said, we're having this discussion, and you know, somebody that would say, "Oh God, you guys are all sinners." It's because of talking about Wicca and all of this, and because it's not what they believe, and it's not for us to judge. That's how I look at it. It's not for us to judge. That's right. We know not to do that, but people do it. And there's a lot of things that we shouldn't do as a human being, written down in the books. And like Pop says, if we followed it to the letter, we'd all be wearing halos. It's just human nature to be flawed. So it's not going to happen. See, my spiritual journey has led me to embrace multiple religions, with Buddhism, Wiccan at the core of my beliefs. Yeah, see, that's it. Like I said, you doesn't have to just pick the one. You could take beliefs from each section or each group that fits how you feel. Yeah, that's true. That's true, Pom. Morals vary. What we might think is wrong, somebody else think, well, that ain't a big deal. Well, but not the bottom line is, you know deep down, if something's wrong, it's just wrong. And they don't even have anything to do with religions. It's just got to do with being a human being. You know? Maybe the Celts in the North is good for me. Yeah, look into it. Look into it. Actually, Carla's not in here yet. I think she's still working because Carla is actually, I believe, am I right, Susan, that she is of North descendants. So Carla knows a lot about that stuff too. Over half the state where I am would tell me I am going to hell for being pagan. And I'm in the, oh, good Lord of mercy, you are in the Bible Belt. Oh, man. Do they know, Dragon? They're going to come over and thump you with their Bible. I did some research and I forgot. It's guys, I don't remember stuff like I used to, which really annoys me. But I did the research on the pagan religion, and how it was great in the beginning, but then Christianity turned it into something that's not good because they wanted to take dominance over everyone. So it's you have to do your research. I wish I could remember it, but I can't. I'd have to look it up all again. I've studied several religions. I agree with Laura. Man could corrupt any religion. Yeah. And I've had my own belief system, trying not to any one religion. Yeah, I agree. You don't be. And a lot of people don't like to talk about this stuff. There's no reason you can't talk about it. And, as long as we're all adults and can accept everybody's opinion. Because, it's not everybody's opinion is wrong or right. It's your opinion, so that's how you feel. But I do think it's a smart thing to do, that everybody, even where Dragon is in the Bible Belt, research all religions. And you're going to see so many similarities. A lot of similarities. Okay, Dragon, we'll be here. You'll be really, really surprised. The Bible wasn't written by God. Was it? So it's going to be the floor because man wrote it and altered it and fabricated it. Yeah, well, Pop, they were told, this is how the teaching is. They were told by God what to write and how to direct the people. Hi, Paul. But yes, as the years have gone by, just like any other stories, things have been twisted a little bit. So it's just like any other thing it's written down. Everybody has their own interpretation. Because I always tell people that if you read a section in the Bible, 10 different people could read it. And each one of those persons that read it can give you their idea on what that little section means. It could mean something different to everybody that reads it. I have parents who are Christians and dad's a pastor. Well, wonderful. That's wonderful. And I'm sure they're probably not too thrilled about your choice, but being a good pastor, he should be open to it. That's how I feel. Because again, we are taught it's not our place to judge. Our judgment comes at our day of our calling. So yeah, We try not to judge, but it's hard because it's human nature. It's just human nature. We try really hard, but it's just human nature. Hi, Ra. I am checking out your channel for the first time. Looks great. Hi, chat. Oh, thanks, Paul. I really appreciate it. Normally, it is I interview paranormal investigators, and we do talk all paranormal. But on open mic nights, we talk about everything. So it gives me a chance to know my group and subscribers on a personal level. They get to know me. So it's great to have you here. I appreciate it. King James got the Bible to be written how he liked it. There's actually parts missing from the. There's a lot of parts missing. I know that there's a lot of scrolls that they found that they didn't allow to be included. So it's and it's all depending on what you believe, what you hear, but yeah, there is stuff missing. And that has to go through the Vatican. And if they don't approve it, so that was back in the day, man. If it wasn't approved, it didn't make it in. Let's see. I've never had a strong opinion of other people's beliefs. No one knows until we do. No reason to fight over other beliefs. Just how I see things. That's right. Well, see, that's what it is. A lot of people will, if we had this conversation anywhere else, we would be getting our asses stomped. I'm telling you right now. There's no reason for it. And I support everybody's choice of belief. I'm not living with you. I'm not telling you what to do. You're not telling me what to do. You have the right. It is your human right to worship any way you want to. They're not dead. Don't like it that I am gay and Wicca. Oh, double whammy for you, Simon. Oh my goodness. It's well, now you also have to admit, because he grew up another way. So you do have to have some sympathy because he just doesn't understand. And, someday it might change, Simon. Just have faith that he's your father and he loves you. And it's hard for them to deal with it. Some people have a hard time with it. But, you're still his child. And when it comes down to it, I'm sure he'll be there when you need him. I judge no one for what they believe. I respect any and all. It's your life, your belief. Who am I to say you're right? Exactly, Cree. Exactly. Back to work. Yeah, don't get in trouble. Don't get busted, Pump. Include the book of Mary Magdalene. Yeah, that. And actually, yeah, there is word that there was actually a whole section that was written, the gospel of Jesus himself. So that wasn't included. There's teachings of him in there and what he was said or what was, done. But apparently there was a whole gospel and that wasn't included. So I don't know. So yeah, we just, you don't judge people by what their religious beliefs are. We're all human beings. Just like what happened to that poor man that was shot because of his opinion. He was a human being, and there's people in the streets celebrating this assassination, and that is devastating. Because what are we becoming when we celebrate, an assassination of an innocent who's just giving his opinion? That's pretty scary. If Jesus did come down, we're all in trouble. We all in trouble. Actually, I just seen an updated documentary about the Noah's Ark, and now they're still up there on Mount Ararat, and you still see the outline, the shape of something large, ship-shaped type of a thing. And now they're testing soil samples and all kinds of stuff. They think they found that's exactly what it is, what they found, which is blow your mind, really. So hopefully they'll update it again, but it's something new that I just saw online today. Cree says, I lived in a house filled with gay men, loved them as family. They too had that happen. I say, where did that one rule? Love thy neighbor gets lost with them. It's their problem, not yours. Exactly. Yes, I have family members that are gay, and that doesn't change how I feel about them. I love them just as much as I did when I was younger, and how they live their life is their business, not mine. It doesn't change who they are. The problem is that human beings like to get in everybody else's business. And I think if some of these people get slapped in the nose once in a while, they'd back off. And it's on both sides of the fence. Because you've got these extreme leftist people that are in the gay community and they're just shoving it and shoving it and shoving. You don't need to do that. We don't care what you're doing in your homes as long as it's not illegal. That is your business. We don't need it shoved down our throats. It's just can't we just be people? Same thing with the racist card. I don't give a shit. As long as you're not a jerk. If you're a jerk, I'm going to call you a jerk. It don't make a difference what color your skin is. And then the same thing with this woke bull crap, with the pronoun. I don't play that game. I tell people straight out, you have a name, that's the name I will call you by. Don't expect me to call you he, her, she, her. This is ridiculous. If you got a name, tell me what it is. That's what I'll use. See, I am a straight woman, and when my mom thought I was gay and I'm not, she sent me to therapy. Oh, man. Yeah, but Cree, that's what they used to do. That's what they used to do. And that's right. I remember love thy neighbor and judge not, lest ye be judged. That's right. I had someone tell me, but it's a sin. I said, it is their sin to make and not your place to correct them. That's right. You are right, Sage. Yes, it is written down that it is a sin. But it's not our place to call it out. We are not there to judge it or make sentence on that person. It's not our call. And I know a lot of people, don't take offense, Simon. Anybody else, don't take offense. I believe you're born that way. I don't believe that just one day a light switch goes on, oh, I'm gay. No, you were born that way. And how are you going to change something that was born in that way? You can't. The world is full of assholes, no matter where you go. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. He says 1 minute they are human, the next minute they think they're giraffe. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. They're people that are lost is what they are. So until they find themselves, they got to play a game, whatever. It's an attention thing, whatever. But don't expect everybody to play. How many times I've had arguments with people in other groups. Oh, what's wrong with you? No, there's nothing wrong with me. I just don't play the game. If you're living as a woman, hey, bully for you. You want to be called Tanya? Good. That's what I'll call you. I'm not going to refer to you as they or that. You're not a group of people. You're one person. You're using a name, whether it's the one you were born given with or the one you gave yourself. Cool beans. I don't care. Just don't expect me to play the pronoun game. It's just, I have enough to give me a headache. I don't need to play that crap. I see people need to stop trying to run other lives and focus on. That's right. That's right. Keep your damn nose out of everybody's business. But we can't. We can't. You see it every day. You ever see those clips online, the Karens? That stuff's real. You could be just walking down the street, minding your business, and some crazy woman or guy will come up to you and say, oh, private neighborhood, or this is that. Take a walk, buddy. I mean, just go back into your $1 million house and leave me alone. I'm not robbing you. We're not doing nothing to you. Get away from me. They can't help it. My father stopped talking to me because I draw dragons. Really? And I have dragon ornaments. He believes that they are demonic and he can't be in a relationship with a demon worshiper. Oh, Pinky, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I don't want you to get mad at me or anybody get mad at me at this, but your father's lost. A little bit of magic doesn't hurt anybody. And not for nothing, there's real life dragons out there. What do you think lizards are? Hopefully someday he'll come around and apologize for this, because that's just, but you also got to take into consideration how he was raised and what was pounded into his head since he was a child. It's very hard for people to give up what they were taught and trained to believe. It's very difficult to change. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's difficult. I can honestly say I've never run into a Karen, and I'm thankful because I might discover that I can be a Karen too. Me too, Bree. Actually, I did. I ran into one in the grocery store one time. My bad, and my husband knew it. I have an anxiety thing where a store is too crowded, then I start to get angry because I want to get out of there. And my husband was complaining about something. We were bitching about something in the store. And this woman come by and starts giving her opinion and mouthing off. And I snapped and I turned on her and I told her to mind her own effing business. Who the hell was talking to you? And then I told my husband, yeah, it's time for us to go before I get into a fight with somebody. I do find these pronouns confusing. I believe in debate and talking, you learn more from opposing opinions as much as they learn from you. Yeah, but if you listen to them, like I said, I watch a lot of this stuff, and they're lost. Because when people confront them with a similar situation, but it's reversed on them, they can't answer it. They're lost people, and hopefully this thing won't last long, and they'll find out who they are truly, and then just live their life as that person. But demanding that society, follows the game that they're playing, it's not going to happen. People aren't going to put up with it because they don't want to. Just like, if nobody, see me out in public, and I say, well, I'm this and I'm that, and I demand that you say this to me or this, they're going to look at me like, get the fuck out of here. I don't have the right to do that to anybody else. I believe what ancient people saw, some dinosaurs they called dragons. There are too many stories worldwide about dragons. Yeah, I mean, they could have, dinosaurs, like you said. Same thing. It's the same thing. But today, you see the small lizards. Those are dinosaurs. And some of them do emulate a dragon type appearance. So they exist. They're just small. And they're not, I know, I guess some of those lizards, they do kind of fly a little bit. But the only issue I have with the community is that they keep adding letters. I know. The alphabet people is and one comedian calls them the alphabet people. It was so much easier when we were younger. You were either homosexual or lesbian, or they were just all gay. It's now they got this name, that name, this one. Please, my brain's gonna explode. I don't even know how they keep up with it. And it's I'm trying to remember what you did 5 minutes. It's same here. I try to keep open mind, but my brain keeps falling out. Yeah, it's just if you're open-minded to things, that's great. Because I always consider myself open-minded to an extent. When you push it over the letter, I mean, come on. Then they're just screwing with you. That's it. They're just screwing. They just say, now you play that game by yourself. I'm not getting involved with that. And don't expect me to. And it's not being disrespectful. You're just being honest. That's why I always say, you got a name? Well, it's like, well, refer to me as them or they. I go, no, you got a name? And I go, well, yeah, that's what I'm going to call you. That's as far as you're going to go with me. I did last week, a Raging Karen and I, a line from the film Priscilla Queen of the Desert. I said, light the fuse on your tampon. It's the only bang your box. Oh, oh, Simon, it's funny. I have an imagination and it's not a bad thing. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's you know what it is when you get older, I don't know, and I think we're taught that too. When you get older, you lose the magic. Don't lose the magic, guys. Have fun with it. Just because you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever. Everyone needs a little magic in their life. It makes real life a little more bearable. So if you enjoy dragons, what the hell's the big deal? Enjoy the dragons. It's the magic. No space and time, and they exist to this day. In my younger days, they were gay or straight. Yeah, exactly. Period. And then bisexual came along. Yep, you're right. Actually, I worked with a young guy who said he was bisexual. And by the end of the year, he realized that no, he was a straight man. He said he liked, well, I'm not going to say it, but he liked girls better. That's just a nicer way to say it. I can't get with it now. So many other things. Yeah, that's like I said, they're lost. They're just lost people. And until they find out who they are inside, then they're going to pick a side. The ones that kill me is that where they say, oh, men can get pregnant. No, they can't. But I'm glad you think so. Knock yourself out. Having imagination is how our civilization came into being. You need an imagination. Any artist is going to have an imagination. It never stomp down on somebody's imagination. That's where the fun in life is. That's how things are created. And dragons they're majestic creatures. It's just, they're strong and, I love it. I love it. Just like the phoenix. It's just an amazing, life would be pretty boring if we didn't have a little bit of that magic. Sherry said, my daughter came out of the closet when she went to college. She was worried what I would think, and it was cute how she let me know. She was shocked that I accepted her, and that since she was little. Oh, well, that's wonderful. I want to be honest. If I had to deal that, if my son had come out and told me that, I would be upset a little bit because every parent has a dream about what they want for their children. And at first it would be a big shock, but then after you think about it, they could still achieve those dreams just in a different way. So, I'm just being honest. I would be shocked. I wouldn't say, oh, get out of my house or freak out. I would just be, I would be upset a little bit, but then I would realize, you know what, no matter what, he's my son and I love him. So it's his choices, his life, it's. Even sexual desire is made from imagination and how we interact with our partners. Yeah, sure. A little imagination there is fun. No. Otherwise, it would just be mechanical, boring. No, it's the passion is in the imagination. If not for my gay men friends who were very queen, and that is a quote from them, I wouldn't be here today. They saved me in more ways than one. Oh, that's wonderful, Cree. It's great that they were there for you. I just got questions for drag queens, to be honest with you. I can't get a hook on that one. I got to find myself a drag queen friend and have it explained to me. I've got some confusion there. But otherwise, knock yourself out. I told my son when they were younger, if you ever discover you're gay, I just want you to know I don't care. I love you for you. And if that's you, I'm fine with it. That's great, Cree. Oh, I would let my son know that I was upset. Like I said, it would be just that initial shock because you always, like I said, oh, you want them to grow up, you want them to have a great job, great friends, get their home, the vehicle, all the bullshit, and you're looking forward to grandchildren. And when they come out and they hit you with, well, I'm gay, you're like, oh. But then you got to realize you can still have grandchildren. It's just going to be in a different way. So the shock is there. I grew up in my neighborhood across the street. There was a family there, great family, 3 daughters, and all of them were gay, which is really not really, you don't really hear that where every child is gay, but all 3 of the girls were. Excuse me. And I could tell that the parents were, they loved them. They never, judged them for it. But you could tell that they were a little upset because I think they wanted grandchildren and none of them went down that road to either adopt or, to have surrogacy or something. So yeah, it was, my cousin Jessica came up to me at 16 yesterday on the phone. Oh, I told her I loved her, whatever. And I told her just to tell her family. And if she needs a place to stay, she can stay. Oh, that's wonderful, Simon. That's wonderful. Someone in my family is a teenager and we know she's gay, but we're not pushing her to come out. We know it's who she is and I'm ready to hope for no. Yeah. When she's ready, when she's ready, she'll do it on her own, but that's good for you. Yeah. That, she's there and you're giving her that support. That's beautiful. I see. I have several cousins. I've got 4 cousins that are gay. And growing up, you just knew it. We knew it, I think, before they wanted to admit it. So when they finally did come out, it was like, yeah, well, we know. We always knew that. So it was a shock, to that person. They're like, really? Well, we just knew. Yeah, and it's great. Yeah, that she knows she has a safe place if she needs one. I had a niece who contacted me once and she was confused, didn't know if she was or not. And I says, well, honey, I really can't answer that for you because I've never had that experience. She had a family member, an aunt on the other side of the family who was lesbian. Actually, she was bisexual. And I says, call her up. She's already been through it. She's living it. That's the person you ask the questions to. I says, and that's where you'll find the answers you're looking for. So it's, and that's what she did. I come to find out she's not gay. I think she was just confused at the time. She wasn't too sure, which is fine because a lot of people go through that. Like my one cousin, he wasn't sure. And I think this happens with most gay people. They're not sure or they're afraid to admit that they are. So they do try having relationships with the opposite sex to try to prove that, they're straight or whatever. I don't know if it's to prove to family, to themselves. I don't know. But they always end up, the bottom line is you finally admit it after a while. Either you are or you're not. I know, but he hasn't come out yet. But Jessica's brother is gay or bi. Ah. I say I don't invite people into my bedroom, so why do I care who you take to yours? Amen to that. I've said that for years. I don't care who you got in your room. That's private, and it should remain private. That's why I get annoyed when they have these gatherings and stuff, and it's like I said, they're trying to shove this down your throat. We don't care. I don't understand it. We don't care. What are you looking for? Acceptance. There are people that are going to accept you, and then there's going to be people that aren't going to, no matter what you do. All you're going to do is make it worse because they're going to say, look how they behave. Look how they behave. Just live your life. Anyway, It's getting late here, and I at work tomorrow, so I'm going to call it a night. Enjoy the rest of the chat, everyone. See you next. Okay, Paul, thank you so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, please do and hit that like button. It really helps out. Also, don't know if you guys know that I added some new stuff to the merch shop. Please stop over there, check that out too. Let me know what you think. It's for the morning brew. I thought it was a little fun to throw some of that stuff in, and everything you guys, purchase goes right back into the channel. All the proceeds from that, and the channel could always use the help, and it's always appreciated. There's the little spiel. It's done. So it's got to throw it out there. But that's how we keep things going. Let's see. Dancy, anything gay, he foams at the mouth. But when I went a year without content due to his bullcrap, he kind of changed a little. Yeah. So you like I said, it doesn't change who you are. I mean, who you choose to love is your business. Just like it was his choice to love your mom. It's nobody's business but theirs. So, do you love the new merch? Oh, thanks, Susan. I appreciate you checking it out and letting me know. How's the magazine coming? It's coming along. I've got, I'm waiting on a few more things. Everybody's got to the 25th to submit everything. So it probably won't be the 120 pages, but I'm going to keep it, as is. I'm not going to stress it. Whatever I end up with is what's going to be published. I don't know how long it took for you to tell him, but I told a friend of mine you've known. He just found out, gave him time to process and then see what happens. Yeah, that's the hardest thing for them is the fear if they're going to be accepted by their family or not. And that's part of being a parent and a family is unconditional love. And again, whoever, you guys have in your bedrooms or all of us have in our bedrooms, it's nobody's business but our own. And then there again, the rub, human nature, everybody's got their nose in everybody's business. So that's why I say, just give them a little slap, smack them on the nose, tell them to back off. It's none of your damn business. I know somebody that was married for years, had 8 children, and then finally come out and said, well, I'm gay. That was just like a blow, one hell of a blow. It took a long time for his kids to speak to him. But he had to be true to himself. He wasn't happy. He was living a lie. I mean, and eventually the majority of his children accepted it. I told my dad at 26 took until last year, until he started to change and treat me. I'm now 51. Well, see, it happened though. Sometimes it could take a really, really long time, but at least there's still something there. So it's a start, Simon. And the problem is that you both missed out on a lot of stuff because of, his stubbornness. It's just stubbornness. My mother disowned me for dating a man of a different color. Hell, I didn't even know she was racist, but in time she came around. Yeah. Yep. See the things you find out, about your parents when you do something out of their norm. And again, you couldn't help who you were attracted to. It just happened to be a man of a different color. Still a man, as long as he treated you well. There was a time. Yes. Well, there was, oh God, I'd have to say the 50s. In the 50s, 60s, something like that. So yeah, well, it was very taboo to be a gay man or woman in those days. So they lived a lie. And he met, local girl, married her, had the 8 kids. They lived on the farm and everybody did their thing. And then just one day, he just, he had to be true to himself so he could live his final years being happy. And it didn't mean he didn't love his kids or his grandkids or the woman herself. They still got along, even though sometimes she'd be real nasty to him. I think it's just because she was hurt so. Laura, I need a link to the site to vote and such. It's right on where my posts on my page. Let me see if I can pull that up. If you go into there, that is. Let me find it for you. Post it. If you, just go into where the posts are. It'll have the polls for the voting. Also, that when I do the magazine, I still haven't decided if I'm going to do it total public or just members. I did the last one members only because I was a bit upset. So I figured my members deserved it. So it's that the link will be in there as well. Anything that's going on with the show is either in the post section or in the description section of my channel is where you'll find like my email address, the merch stores. That's all that stuff's in there. If you find love thyself, you can love others easier with less judgment. Yeah, no. But the old timers, it's hard. Thank you, Susan. It's hard. It's hard for people to change. Change is very traumatic to people. And it's easier just to keep those beliefs and cast out whoever, doesn't fit your norm. Unfortunately. Racism runs in my family too. Mom sees a colored man on TV and throws the remote. Oh my goodness. But I don't say anything because mom has dementia. Oh yeah, my mom has dementia too. God bless her, poor sweetie. So, you're welcome, Dragon. Dementia's hard. I take care of my mother. It's very hard. It's hard on her. It's hard on the family because we pretty much lost the person that she was, and now we're dealing with a baby now. It's like having a 3-year-old child. It's not really, because a 3-year-old child listens. She doesn't listen very well. So she gets her hand slapped every now and then. I had to get child safety knobs for the stove because she used to mess with that. And you slap her hand and you go, no, don't do that. And they forget about it the next time and she's right back at it. So yeah, you had to child-proof everything. I'm lurking. Heard what she said about that man that had 8 children and he was living a lie. But I wonder what damage did it do to his wife? I bet she wondered, was your love a lie to me? You know what? I know, yeah, she was very bitter. Actually, for a long time. But they always were civil to each other. And if anything happened, he was there for her. And yeah, I guarantee you that's how she felt. That's why she was bitter towards him. But she was a stubborn woman. So she stuck to her guns, and when it pertained to family and stuff, they did well. I know, same thing. Can't imagine what's going through her head. Like, what did I do? How could this be? Did I do this? That's normal. A normal reaction for anybody. Thinking that it was their fault when it had nothing to do with them. And I don't really know what the interaction was between them. If he sat down and said, listen, it has nothing to do with you. I've always been this way. I was just doing what I was supposed to do according to society. Again, living in an area that was like, it was in Missouri. So, everybody went to church. Everybody did that, and so to be a gay individual in that time period in a Bible built situation, nobody said much because then you were shunned by everybody or worse. Right. Because she was living his lie too. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was. So that's why she was bitter for a long, long time. And then when she got older, she got mean. But I think that also had to do with maybe some kind of mental health issue. Let's see. My grandma had dementia and got mad at my cousin and hauled off and punched him. Sat him on his. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Some of them do have that reaction. It affects everybody differently. Because my aunt now is just starting the signs of it, and my aunt wouldn't hurt a fly. Wouldn't hurt anybody's feelings. Wouldn't say shit. She wouldn't say none of that. Now, oof. You say something to her and she gets pissed off and lets you have it. And that's not the norm for her. So we know it's the dementia. Gay men fall in with women, but not be sexually attracted to her. Yeah, to be honest, I never had the conversation with them as to, how they felt or how he felt. Most likely, yeah, the sexual act was out of maybe feeling, it's something that was expected of him. I mean, they had 8 children, so it couldn't have been too bad. So, but then of course, he had a little something on the side. So, but I find that a lot, people, from the 50s and the 60s, they lived a lie because the society would have just beat the crap out of them. So they had to be quiet. So, the gay community can't say that they haven't come a long way because they have. It's a lot more accepting nowadays than it was back then. Back then, oh, big taboo. No. So they had families and all of this. It was all a lie. And then they would live the secret life, on the side. In the 40s, my grand's aunts ran off with each other to Australia. Oh. How's Miss Stephanie doing today? Hope she's good. Hope you are doing well. Sleeping with a woman, too, says bisexuality. Yeah, because like I said, I worked with a young man who was both. And he was confused. He admitted he was confused. And then he realized that, yeah, he liked girls better. So and that was his choice. Because it was funny, when he, of course, it was a long time ago, and say, your husband's very handsome. I'm thinking, hey, can't have my man. Go get your own. There's a lot of pop stars and Hollywood people that have done that, Simon, where they've lived a lie. And I look at Bruce Jenner. It took him until his 60s to realize, I need to live for me and who I am. Even though I don't think he makes that great of a look of a woman. Sorry, Bruce. Or I'm sorry, with Caitlyn. Yikes. Did a big no, but but he made that decision after all those kids and being married, and he just, I think after a while you've just had enough, and listen, I've just got to be myself, and that's it. Otherwise, that's a horrible way to live, to be bottled up. You are. That's exactly what you are. You're in a bottle. It's a pretty sad way to live. And I never put that on the stream. I should have. I was having problems before the show started and thinking, oh God, no, not again. So I had to remove everything and reschedule the live so stuff would work. I don't know. It keeps doing this. I'm going to ditch this platform and go to another one. I'm good, trying to get home so I can chill. Thank you. I hope you are good. Yeah, I'm having one of my days, but it's all right. This too shall pass. But I'm glad you're having a great day. I have my moments, and then they go by quick when I get busy and preoccupied with something else, or somebody makes me laugh. I have trouble with my knee. It started yesterday. I'm thinking, great, something else. Just gonna lop it off. That's it. What's on the docket for October? Oh, well, let me look. I do want to do a fun Halloween show with Carla and Susan. We haven't decided exactly what day. We're trying to work around everybody's schedule. I mean, I want to do it before either before Halloween or on Halloween. We just haven't decided, but we have a lot of fun ideas that we're kicking around for everybody to enjoy. I want everybody to interact with the show. So, and then I'll also be reading a story on there from one of our peoples. I've got the paranormal. Let's see, who is that? Oh, the Coffee Girls, Lily and Vanessa from Paranormal Happy Hour is coming up. And then I have Fear of the Living, Chris from that show. A group, the Bridgewater Triangle Paranormal Group is coming up. That's all in October. Let's see. Next week, I've got the Paranormal Nut podcast. Sean and Jim coming up on the 24th. So that's going to be fun. I'm just, bouncing around. Like this weekend, I was supposed to do a show with Susan on the 20th, but I can't because I'm taking off and I'm not taking work with me. I'll be in the chat. But I'm planning on vegetating. Oh my God, my coffee girls. Well, no. I could still do the morning brew because I'm bringing my laptop. So, I mean, if you really want, it's only, let's see, I'm only going to be down a couple of days. So I'll still be home in time for the morning brew. So don't sweat it. I'll be here. I promise. And I'm glad everybody's enjoying that. So it's and I enjoy it too. It's great just to sit down and, bullshit with everybody first thing in the morning. I'm dressing up as a middle-aged fat broad for Halloween. Oh, Sage. Well, I got my Green Witch costume. I'm going to do a little tweaking to my little headband, what a headpiece you want to call it, whatever you want to call it. I want to add some crystals to it. I need to see if their website is working yet. Whose website? Oh, the Coffee Girls. Yeah, I don't know. Susan, did you contact them to find out what the deal was with the shipping or the checkout process? I don't know if you ever reached out to them because I wanted to do that too. I forgot. Let's see. I've got so much going on. Yeah. Did you let them know that there was a checkout issue? Because Steph wants her coffee. And I planned on, checking it out and buying my coffee. And if it don't work, then we can't have it. I have a lot of fun. You go away. Oh, well, I plan on, showing you, doing some filming or something so you guys can see where I'm, being a vegetable. But I appreciate it. I just need a couple of days to, so I can, adult again. When you finally get to your limit and you're just like, all right, I'm just going to walk away from everything. And that's why I just need a couple of days. I was going to do a week, but that wasn't possible. I just couldn't finagle it. So I'll have to just put up with a couple of days. It said low stock. Okay, so maybe that was the issue. I still haven't had a chance to get over there and check it out. I'll try it again, Steph. See what's going on. Yeah, I'm really interested in that rum and, what was it? Rum and banana? I think that's what it was. I had to look at my notes. And you guys would laugh. I have like a stack of notes on my desk. Every time I see something interesting, I write it down. And I go, I got to look into that now. It might take me a few days, but I get there eventually. But, that coffee sounded awesome. Artists, all their stuff. They had another one there. Was a Black Forest or something like that. Yeah, I got it written here somewhere. Black Forest, and because that one and the rum and banana was Sounded really good. Something different. My husband will probably say that's disgusting. I'm not drinking it, but I'm not buying it for him. So he don't have to worry about it. Even though he'll he'll bitch about it. Post it. Oh yeah, Susan, if you have that link, could you pop it in there? I would appreciate it, please. Can't forget our manners, please, please. With bananas on top. I need a whole month just to turn into mush and not have to deal with anything except how I'm gonna get some in one spot on my back. Yeah, I know that's how I'm feeling, Steph. And when I get like this, then that opens the door for the depression to settle in, and I just don't want to go that route. Like I said, I have my moments, and I'll say to myself, knock it off and get up, do your thing. It's just overload, everybody wanting something. So yeah, I'm leaving my husband home. I'm leaving the dog home. I love them, but they can stay home. Even though I'm going with my son and his girl, they're going to do their own thing. I'm just going to vegetate on the patio. Like I said, I might even bring Uncle Jack and mix up a few. So you might be sorry if I go live. It might be a little scary. I mean, I could really stay longer because I don't have to pay to stay where I'm going. And the thing is that, it's the grocery thing. I'm thinking, okay, you got to have money for groceries up there and when you get home. So I don't have it both. So it's just, I got to supply it at the house first. That comes first. Thank you, ladies. I'm working on my mushroom impersonation. Oh, that's the website I used. Okay, yeah, well, I'll have to just click on see what's going on. Maybe it was because they were low on stock stuff, so you might have just missed it. So maybe they filled it back up. I watch a lot of the van life things on YouTube, and I always would say, how the hell can they just live like that? And then there's days where I realize now I understand. Just sometimes you just need to be alone in your own little space, and don't come knocking on the door because I'm not going to answer. Even though I do that a lot around here. Don't knock on the door. Don't call. And then, of course, I get my ass read. Why don't you answer the phone? It's because I want to be left alone. That's why. Have you tried the mushroom coffee? You're asking Steph, not me, because I'm not. Or are you asking Sage? I heard it's good. I think Jimmy drinks that. He says he likes it. See, that's, again, that would be out of my comfort zone. Mushroom coffee. Mushroom and coffee just doesn't go together for me, but I heard it's good. I'm not a mushroom person. Now, see, I love mushrooms, but I don't think I'd like it with coffee. Tastes very earthy. Oh, okay. And it's just a nice way of saying it tastes like dirt. I'm kidding. I have a cup of dirt. Well, it's like the coffee that Susan drank. I mean, you could actually just say that, that coffee tastes like shit because that's where it came from. I remember telling my husband that. My husband gave me this look like, what? And Susan said it was good. I don't care if she's... See, he won't drink it either. I channel it there. If I want earthy, I'll lick things. I can lick dirt for free. Just one of the house plants. Stick your tongue in there. Hey, Ghost, how's it going? How are those coffees so expensive? She said yes in a nice way. I have drank mushroom powder in coffee. Yeah, I don't know how it comes. I just didn't ask because I know I'm never going to drink it, so I don't care. But if you love it, all right. It's supposed to be good for the digestion. Yeah, I think that's why Jimmy started drinking it to help his gut health. But nah, I'll use other things for that. Well, any of those, fancy, strange coffees are always expensive. I know Susan said she got like a little thing of it, and it was outrageous. But you know what? If you are splurging for yourself, then do it. Because I'm guilty like that too. Oh God, this is expensive. I'm not going to get that. But I mean, if you do it once a year, twice a year, well, you only live life once. Do it. If that's something you want to do, do it. Hey, Ghost Wiener, that's not a wiener. Wiener, wiener, wiener. I like caramel latte. Oh, that sounds so good. Yeah, it is good, Pinky. I haven't had that in a long time. That's because I always think, oh, it's so fattening. But yeah, whatever. Too late, already fat. So what the hell, right? Susan loves the poopy coffee. That's good. So see, it wasn't a waste. Because nothing more than spending a lot of money on something and then you get it and you're like, oh God, this is awful. And I just wasted $40. I like my coffee rich, strong, and dark. Like my, Sage is letting in us on a little personal secret. I always used to drink the French vanilla lattes until they started getting really expensive. I'm like, well, that's the end of that. But again, I mean, if you only do it once in a while. I used to have that argument with my mother-in-law. She wouldn't spend $3 on a pint of raspberries, but she spent $3 on a pack of cigarettes. I said, what sense does that make? That doesn't make any sense to me. So you're going to go without enjoying something, but you'll spend the money on whatever's killing you. That's that makes sense. I use a coffee machine and add the caramel soup to it with the foamy milk. I have a machine that does that too. My coffee machine, I have regular coffee on one side and the other side is the latte and espresso maker. I've used that side once. But I should just I should just get the caramel syrup and do that. Coffee for everyone. Woohoo! Excuse me. I should use the other side more often. I don't know. It's just easier to do the other side. Less pain in the ass. And my husband drinks the regular. He won't have, lattes or anything like that. So it's just easier to make a pot of coffee. I never do the extra if I want it. That's the same thing with like dinner. I always make what he wants for dinner. I never get what I want for dinner. If my husband could eat pork chops every day, he would. I worship my coffee maker every morning. I worship the bean. Do you have an altar and everything set up? That would actually be funny. A giant coffee bean on a satin pillow. I want a latte cappuccino machine. We got ours for free, Susan. My husband won it as a prize at a Christmas party that we went to. which is really funny because my husband really likes coffee. And so it was the perfect gift. We won the coffee machine. Some Italian coffee maker that we wouldn't pay the price for. So we got it as a gift. I have a coffee cup and just opened my liquor cabinet on my days off. I add a little something from there to enter. Yeah. No need for cream or sugar. That's right. Just pour a little something special in there. Irish cream. Why bother with the coffee? Just it'll dilute it. I haven't had a drink in God. What was it? We're showing off again. What are you talking about? Oh yeah. Hey, woo. So don't want to let these out. You hear the thump thump. I don't want a coffee maker that you need a college degree to run. Now this one actually was pretty easy, which I was really surprised because I'm thinking, great, I got to read this book and figure out how this crap works. But pretty much it was basic. You fill it with the water. You put the coffee of your choice in the little cup thing. You push down the other part that squishes it, stick it in the machine and turn it on. That's it. And I really don't know why it's so expensive, to be honest. But I don't know. I think it's I don't even remember the brand name. It's just, so I'm thinking, okay, good. We got it for a gift because that's as far as that's going. Something you just turn on. Yeah, that's right. You just push the right buttons and it turns it on. Going to get the vinegar and honey and see if that helps my throat. Oh, yes, they say that your local honey will help. I know my grandmother used to, what's it, blackberry brandy or something. You take a little bit of that. It helps with the sore throat. Now, by the time you're done, you're liquored up. You won't care if you're sick. The idea is when I finish the actual coffee, I just keep using the cup for liquor, especially when dealing with relatives. Oh, yeah. And you'll just say, I'll be back. I got to get some more coffee. I'll be right back. Yeah, we all have those relatives. Actually, the ones that are really bad aren't allowed to our house. So no drama zone. So they don't come and visit. Oh, yeah. They keep wondering you get coffee from the liquor cabinet. It's where it's plugged in. It was the only plug we had available. Yeah, the plan is maybe when I go away, I'll get either bring you Uncle Jack, or maybe I'll stop liquor store, pick up something. Maybe a couple of bottles of wine. A little something to just, make it a smooth weekend. Well, heading to bed. Good night, everyone. Thank you for supporting. Oh, thank you, Susan. And night, night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Sleep well. Don't work too hard. Just enough to make it look good. It's towards the end of the week. You just got to pretend now. You tell me you have a built-in coffee maker in there. There you go. That's funny. They probably get like a strange look on their face. What? That's really our style. Why would you have it there? It's really an odd place to have a coffee maker. Remember the old, I remember as a kid, my father had an old like bar set up, the half barrel on the wall. And you would open it up and it would have all the bottles and stuff. And I remember my father having one of those. course, if he still had it, it'd probably be worth some money now because it was an original. Do they still even have those? I don't even know. Or people that had the globe ones. Of course, now everybody just has full blown bars in their house. So I don't even keep, like I said, we have, I have vodka, a bottle of vodka and Jack. That's it. I don't keep large. I mean, the only time I'd have like, oh geez, cognac, because there's a recipe that I use for pot roast that calls for cognac. So I get one of the little bottles and it's just enough for the recipe. We're just not big drinkers. Started making coffee. Just tell him, just go back in the other room. There's nothing to see here. Just that's all. Go sit down. I'll be back. Tons of work. Overtime. Overtime. Well, hopefully you're getting good money. Usually Uncle Sam takes the overtime. Hello, Sir Tim. How are you? Thanks for coming to hang out with us. We're talking coffee and booze. And how we all can escape from being adults, even if it's for 24 hours. Yeah, make that paper. But like I said, it sucks. You do that overtime, and Uncle Sam just reaches right in. Uncle Sam needs to back off. Stop taking everybody's dough. And their excuses, well, we use it, to help improve the city. Well, yeah, where I live, it's one giant pothole. So where's that money going? I asked, do I stand over you when you brew your coffee? Exactly. Oh, back off. I may grow old, but I refuse to grow up. Yeah, there you go. It's just like when I go away, they say, what do you do up there? Absolutely nothing. And I love it. I could scumbag it if I want to. Nobody's going to care. They don't see me. Of course, it's been cold up there. I was hoping to maybe get a chance to jump in the lake, but it might be too cold now. I don't know. We'll see. Even if it's just for a couple of seconds. If not, you just dangle my feet in it. The color is starting to explode up there, so it's I can't wait to get some pictures and have everybody see. I'll see if I could do a video on the way up. Me too, Sage. Delting. 1/2 do not recommend. Yeah, it sucks. It's a trap. We all get sucked into it, and then we're here. Here we are. We were fooled. Exactly. Who wants that? Nobody. So I always tell them, and we all heard it too. Don't want to grow up too fast, because when you get here, you're not going to be too happy. It means you got to pay for everything. You've got to work for everything. The free ride's over. There's been tons of days where gee, I wish I could just, I go back home. Well, it ain't gonna do me any good. Mom's got dementia, so it's not like she's gonna be there to take care of me. It's the other way around. Are you going to channel your inner mushroom? I'm going to channel something, but I don't know what. I mean, I don't even want to do that. I just, like I said, I just want to just vegetate. I love going there and I just sit and I listen to the loons on the lake, which I love the sound that those birds make. And you watch the ducks and, just enjoy the wind and the quiet. But there's this one hummingbird, a little shit gets me every time. Every time. I know it's coming and he gets me every time. Because in the morning I'll get up, grab my coffee, and I go out and sit out on the patio. And it's enclosed, so it's nice. So all you get is the view of the lake. So nobody can really see unless they got binoculars. So you're out there in your robe or whatever. And I'll just be sitting there enjoying the quiet, and all of a sudden I hear this loud buzzing noise. And I always think it's a giant bug, and it's a little stinker hummingbird. And I'm like, shit, you got me. He gets me every time. Let's see. Hell, when you're retired, Uncle Sam wants to know how much you will give him. Absolutely. Yeah, I know. That's the point I'm at. How much you get? You're not getting a damn thing. I don't even get back everything that I put in. It sounds amazing. I'm jealous. Oh, don't know. That's why I want to share. And of course, you get to look at the rich people across the lake. One of the guys owns a plane and he brings it in. And yeah, amazing. Oh, we're going to camp, and he flies in, and then he just, motors the plane right up to their cabin, right up the driveway. I was thinking, shit. So I asked my friend, I go, what the hell does he do for a living? She says, he owns some car dealerships. I said, well, yeah, okay. But yeah, flies his own plane in. Unbelievable. And then the house across the lake, couple houses down, I believe she said that the people that invented Miracle Air, that's their camp, which is beautiful. So it's got some big money across the lake. So I was like, oh, there's the neighbor in his plane. I have to get going. Bye. Okay, thanks, Pinky. Don't forget the dragon pics. You got until the 25th to send them in. I'd love to share them with everybody. I want to be able just to sit and lose myself in a good book, just like a half a day. Oh, you could do that where I'm going. Just sit there and not move. And not be bothered. It's great. I mean, at nighttime, always looking around a corner to see if a bear is coming by, but we don't get bothered. I get to listen to the loons over the sagebrush or not. Yeah. It's just a great sound. Some people think it's creepy or eerie. I don't. I think it's very peaceful. My goal is last day of work, December 31st. Oh, you're getting there. You're getting there. Okay, Dolly, I'll keep an eye out for him. The trouble is that everybody I know that's retired, of course, I was forced into retirement. So that's why I do what I'm doing now to keep me busy. But a lot of people, they retire, they can't stand it. They're bored out of their skulls, or pretty much they can't make ends meet. That's pretty much the situation we're in. So they end up going back to work. Unfortunately, I can't do that. So it's But that's usually what they do. They go, well, I just miss being out in the world and doing something every day. So they go back part-time somewhere. I'm sure you are. Everybody does look forward to it. I mean, I had a few more years to go, but that's okay. I love that I don't have to wake up to an alarm clock anymore. I always threaten to throw it in a driveway and run it over at the truck just to get that satisfaction. But my husband needs it so he can go to work, so I can't do it. I always just tell people that I'm just going to throw it out there, run it over several times just to say, there, son of a bitch woke me up all these years. I've had enough. My revenge is at hand. Just I wouldn't mind if a pool boy came by and offered me a massage too. Well, hey, I mean, you could always hook that up. Somebody I have enough work here at home to last a few years. Besides, I have my small engine repair business. There you go. So there you're all set. You're golden. So just a couple more months to go, and then you could tell them to. That's it. I'm out of here. Later, losers. Go Sweeney. Let's not go talk about retirement. I have almost 40 years. Oh, I know that sucks. It does suck. Oh, not for them. I've been out of work now, I think. Oh God, it's got to be 3-4 years now. And I wasn't planning on retiring until I was in, 67 or whatever. So I had another 10, 15 years to go. But the boss, had other plans. And when you're all messed up physically, there's nobody going to give you a job. They'll just say, oh, yeah, we'll call you. Yeah, I played that game too. So I figured, well, let me turn my hobby of paranormal and online stuff and hit YouTube, and this is it. This is where I am now. Which is great. It's better than any old job there is. Here, I mean, like when I was working where I was, I really didn't care for half the people I worked with. All gossip mongers. But here, at least I get to meet all you great people, and we have a good time. And we don't have to hear, this one said this one, and that one did this one. And what do you think? And I think, get away from me. It's what I used to tell them. I don't want to hear about that. Get out of here. I had one girl there was telling me how her kids were rotten. These are little kids, how rotten her kids were. And then I just turned around and looked at her. I said, well, your kids turn out the way you raise them. She just gave me her, this look. I'm like, well, truth is truth. Tim, you can work on my small engine. Oh, you a small engine stuff? Come on. As long as it's not a small engine, yeah, it would be painful. It would be. Hope he's on his way. See, that's all you had to say. I've got nearly 30 years in, but I still have another 10 to go. Don't hold up that long. Yeah, it gets rougher the further you get, the closer you get to that finish line. And that's why it always kills me when they say, oh, they're going to raise the retirement age. They want you to work till you die. That's what they want. And then they complain because there's no jobs out there. Well, obviously, because people got to work till they're 80 years old. So the young crew can't get a job because you're in the way. Not to mention that the cost of living is outrageous no matter where you go. So if you want to eat, pay bills, you got to continue to work. Or do like, the county and them all want you to do is just take what money you have, pay your bills, and just sit in the middle in a dark room and don't do anything because you can't afford anything else. But they're okay with that. What are your plans for Halloween, Steph? Got anything good cooked up for that spooky occasion? Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do the Halloween show on Halloween or the day before Halloween. We're trying to iron out the plans and then it'll get posted. Seeing that we have no kids that come to the door anymore. Not like the old days where you'd have, groups of kids for hours. And we're lucky we end up with 5 or 6. That's really not worth buying all that candy for. So we don't carry any pan stuff out anymore. Small feet picked. That's it. Career change. Go. Yeah. Good for you. Get those pictures out there. I never understood that, what do you call it, a website or whatever the hell it's called. So I went to go check it out. You got to make an account to check it out. So I did. And I'm thinking, okay, what is the big deal? When they go, well, they got cooking shows and they got all kinds of these shows. But then if you want the private stuff, you got to pay. And that's where the naughty stuff kicks in. And they go, oh, okay. I'm too shy to do my own channel. Oh, come on. It's like talking on the phone with a friend. You just hit that start button and just start running your yap. That's all. That's when I have guests on and they're like really nervous. I go, listen, just think of it as just a one-on-one conversation, phone call, that's it. Don't pay attention to anything else that's going on. And usually everybody that I have on already knows everybody in chat. So because they've been in their chats or they've been in, on their channels and they know what's going on. So, and it usually helps people calm down. Believe me, stage fright, I know about it because I've been there, done that. When you've got, hundreds of people staring at you, yeah, you get a little sweaty. Here, I don't even think anything of it because it's just me and you guys. It's not like, thousands of people staring at you waiting for you to screw up. I just don't think of it that way. Honestly, I haven't even thought that far yet. So there's crap going on at the moment, but I guess I'm going to see what we're all doing or who is hosting what. Gotcha. Well, I know everybody's going to be having some kind of a Halloween special. So that's why I'm not sure if I want to do it on the day or a day before, because there's a lot that I want to put on and interact with everybody. Trying to make it as fun as we possibly can. I just got to touch base with Susan and Carla and see how everybody's scheduled and see if we can figure it out, but we will. I love to come on here just to see what Steph is going to say next. I know. She keeps everybody in suspense. It's great. You never know. What I got to do is get Steph on the show. Now that's going to be something. But no pressure, Steph, whenever you're comfortable. I would love to fly out and see one of my besties in Florida for a long weekend. This will be my first Halloween without her and her without. Well, then you better hurry up and buy the ticket now. Don't you get a discount if you buy it like 30 days in advance? Or they don't do that anymore. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. You spent a beautiful weekend in Florida. I've got family and friends in Florida. They're always trying to get us to come out there. I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. Too far to drive. We won't get on a plane. So the next route would have to be a train, I guess. And that takes forever. So and maybe someday we'll make it out there. It would be awesome to have Steph on. Like I said, she's welcome just when she's ready. I don't pressure anybody. No guilt, no nothing. I worked for a hospital upstate New York, and after 40 years, they let me go in June. And who wants to hire an older person as opposed to a younger person? Exactly, Sherry, because I have another friend that has that problem. She's got extensive background in the medical field. And one person come right out and told her that your resume could be the same as a 20 or 30-year-old person, and they're going to hire the younger person because they figure she's going to retire in about 5 years. So why invest, time and effort into her when they can get the other person for a longer period of time, which is another form of discrimination, but that's what they do. I see this when I went through when I was first in retirement. When I had to go apply for a job somewhere, I had to tell people the restrictions I had through disability and doctors. And bottom line is, all I got was, "Oh yeah, we'll call you." I'm thinking, "Yeah, sure you will." So after doing that for 2 years, I'm like, I'm not going to find a job. Nobody wants to hire me because I'm a liability, and I know that's what they're thinking. Tim, no pressure, Steph. Please get on the panel. You think that you would think. Now, some places would think that way, but most of them are like, no, you're going to retire in a little while, so we'll get. And the younger people, a lot of them don't want to work. Here's an example. My son's got a friend, his wife, since they've been married, it's a year they've been married. She's been through 6 different jobs. Oh, they pick on me or this or that. And I'm thinking, no, she doesn't want to work for one. Where now it's, you think they would hire the older, more experienced person, somebody that showed up to work every day and gave that extra effort, to keep things running smooth. And they don't think that way anymore. I self-medicate to fly. My friend cracks me up, picks me up because I clap every time the pilot lands the plane. Oh, oh, I'd be clapping too. Like, oh, I'd be throwing a party. I'd be like, thank you, Jesus. We made it in one piece. And I think that, because I used to love, roller coasters and all the crazy rides. I was always first in line. I think once the plane took off, I would be fine. And then I would have another shit attack when I was getting ready to land. So it's in the middle, I think it'd be okay. Tell me about it, Laura. I have 3 young kids on my crew. Only work they want to do is yes. Actually, that happened to the friend that I'm going up to their house this weekend. They have 3 properties that they rent for summer guests. And he hires kids from down here in the city. They get on a bus and go up there. And he hires them for landscaping or wood chopping or whatever he needs done, grass cutting, whatever. This one kid come up, I believe he was Bosnian or Russian or something. He spoke with a heavy accent. And he was only there for like 5 minutes. And the next thing you know, my friend goes and looks. The kid's sitting on the back of the truck with a cigarette and his phone. And he says, excuse me, what are you doing? Well, I take a break. He goes, you haven't been here long enough to get a break. He goes, get the hell off your ass and go do that lawn. Needless to say, that was the last time the kid showed up for work because he fired him. He said, no, I'm not paying you to be on your telephone. Hey, goth gal, how is it going? You're right. Yeah, and the 2 older gentlemen worked their butts off because they know what it means to have to earn a living and how lucky they are to have that job. They don't have nobody to wipe their asses for them. I had to white knuckle flights. That was too many for me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd have to be like, like the A-Team where they used to have to knock Mr. T out to get him on the plane. That would be me. The mallet and bonk. Wake me up when we get there. My city is considering close to retirement. Staff who have experience to first create a new department. Yeah, you just because that's what it is. The people that have had to retire or did retire, they find out they can't make ends meet, so they have to go back to work. So I would rather hire that person who's worked somewhere for 50 years without a problem than the younger kid that, shows up, with a cigarette in his mouth and on his phone in his hand. I had that happen once when I was at the lab. I had to train this young girl. We needed another ceramicist. And I was the one, I was lucky I could train her. So I'm training her, and all she was doing was primping and making sure she looked pretty the whole time I was talking to her. So I put up with this for like a week. Finally, the boss comes over. He goes, "How's she doing?" I go, "Fire." I said, "She refuses to learn. All she cares about is if the guys here are paying attention to her." And they fired her. Of course, the guys in the department were too happy with me, but I said, "I don't care. I'm not here for a beauty contest." And I was the one who would have had to make up her work if it wasn't finished. I said, "I got to have my own stuff to do. I ain't picking up the slack for her just so she could smile and bat her eyelashes. Bullshit." They have seniority in that place. Yeah. They can't can me because of my age. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Mine, they gave me an excuse. Well, see, because I only worked 5 hours a day, but I did 8 hours worth of work plus saw patients in that 5 hours. So I made sure that everything was done before I left. They made up the excuse, and I know it was the manager whining and crying because he was a big baby ass. Because he didn't want to do work that belonged to somebody else. He wanted me to pick up the slack. No, I wasn't staying longer to do that. It's not my job. If you're behind and you need help, I'll help. But don't expect me to do somebody else's job because they're too busy talking or you don't want to do it. So they told me that they needed somebody full time. That was their excuse, the boss's excuse. And the way he was very nervous, and he wouldn't look me in the eye. I go, "Listen, I get it. Don't worry about it. I'm all right. I'll just pack up my stuff and go." So he knew that I knew he was handing me a line of shit. Even though my husband goes, "I should have sued them." But the thing is, how do you prove that? How do you prove discrimination against somebody that's disabled? I gave him my 110 and it still wasn't good enough. You expect, and of course they nailed me Friday when I was getting ready to leave. It's like, "Oh, I got to talk to you for a minute." I'm thinking, "Oh, gee, okay. Is there, something coming up, patient schedule or whatever?" And then, hit me with that. And I'm like, "Oh, here you think, you're good. You're going to retire from this place because you do what you're supposed to. Get all your work done. It doesn't count anymore." Before I got the job I'm in now, I was in a contract position and they had decided to hire a permanent. I went through the application and interview and they hired someone else and asked me to train them. Sorry, I don't work here anymore. Good for you. Good for you. They have it to my husband's cousin. She worked for what the hell was it? Bank of America, something like that. And they processed large accounts online. This is what they did. She was in the security section of that. And they ended up transferring all of the jobs out of the country. But the women here that did the jobs had to train those people who were stealing their jobs. And the same thing happened to her. She had over 20 years in that bank, and she was training other people to do her job, and then they nailed her with the pink slip. So yeah, that's just wrong, totally wrong. So not all of the work was resourced. I think it was India. Oh no. I think she said that all the work went to the UK. They sourced out the work to the UK. So they shut down both banks here, and now they do everything through the UK. So I don't know. Do they pay their people less money? I have no idea. I don't know what the wage is out there, but yeah, she was training the person that was taking over her job. And I told her, I said, "Well, good for you." Well, because the longer she stayed, the more she would have gotten, her retirement plan or whatever. But I said, I would have said, you know what? You could kiss my ass. I'm not going to train this person who's taking my job from me. And now, she's in her 50s. How are you going to find a job when you're that, late age? Oh, you were so right, Steph. Actually, I need to learn how to use AI a lot better than I do to keep up with, with the trends and all that crap, because AI is going to take over everything and we're all screwed. And especially in the paranormal. Because when they first started coming out with that AI stuff, I asked questions of like, Joe and Crow. And I says, do you think that it's going to affect, or how bad do you think it's going to affect the paranormal community on YouTube? Because they're going to be using all of this fake garbage in their videos to make it appear like it's a real activity. So now it's going to be even harder for the debunking community and the rest of us to detect what is real and what is not. So I think the best way to at least combat some of that is to learn it, so we know what to pick out. It was a blessing in disguise. I got the job I'm in now and I love it. Oh, that's wonderful. So hopefully it stays good till you retire. Going to Lurk. Got to get the fabulous family dinner. Oh, who's did they get to eat today? No. Enjoy your dinner. Lurk away. That's right. They had better plans for her. So I'm still waiting. I know the universe is supposed to make me a millionaire at some point. I'm just still waiting. It just has to come. I mean, I feel it. Sure. Of course, I'd be happy as a beggar on a patch of grass in the shack at this point in my life. Just if I was a healthy person, because I already told my husband that, I said we were both, strong like we were when we were younger. I says, off grid. I said we'd pack up, just go to Alaska or somewhere in the middle of the woods and live in a cabin and just fend for ourselves. There's just too much crap we got to put up with. Our food is poison. The air down here is poison. It's just, people are poisoned. Homemade veggie soup, cornbread, leftovers. Yum. Ooh, I love veggie soup. I love mostly any soup, as long as it's homemade. I don't do canned soups. I always make my own. And then when somebody else says they're making some, I'm thinking, get me a bowl. Thank you. Love soup. And when there's, you got a bunch of leftovers, and I'll say, what can I make with this? Soup. My husband gives me a look. I said, too bad. He eats it, though. He likes it. His favorite that I make is I make a meatball soup and potato soup are his favorites that I do. And then I'll do other ones that are spicy. He won't eat those because they're spicy. But my son loves them. So now that my son doesn't live home, if I make him saying, Mom made soup, come over and get your bowl. His girl's still learning the cooking thing. So, my husband goes, oh, great, my son's going to starve to death. I go, no, she's trying. So we got to give her that credit. She's trying. So good for her. Anytime you need help, just give me a call. That's what I'm here for. Going to be behind the wheel for a bit. I'll be listening. Okay, careful driving. Don't pick up any strangers on the way home. Too many weirdos out there. I think that would be another reason why I wouldn't do the van life thing. I've seen too many where, they say they're in a spot they think is safe and then some wacko's banging on their window. Jeez. Talk about crap yourself. Of course, I'd have the dog with me. So they'd have to deal with that. And anybody that does that kind of lifestyle, they have to have a large dog with them. So it's like your warnings, signal that something's bad, and at least you can get the heads up. And then just start the van and drive away. Who cares who's out there? Just drive away. Too dangerous nowadays. I had a friend who was living that lifestyle, and he loved it because he'd park on the beach, and he had a bike. He'd ride it. He'd go find a job wherever he was staying, and go work the job, and then come home and then sit and go fishing because he loved fishing. And he'd spend his evening fishing, and then just sitting, enjoying the beach and the air, and he loved it. Unfortunately, he passed away last year. But while he was doing that, I believe it was in Virginia. No, actually, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. He was in New Orleans, and his van got broken into twice. And he says, I don't have anything. He goes, I don't understand it. But yeah, they did it twice. And all they did was ransack the thing and left him with broken windows and broken stuff that he would have to, work and refix. But it didn't deter him from continuing to do it until he passed away. His family wasn't too happy about it. They ridiculed him. And I tell him, I said, you know what? You do what makes you happy. And if living in a van on the beach makes you happy, then you go for it. Not everybody has that opportunity or has that kind of freedom. I had other friends that lived in a converted school bus, and they used to get, ribbed about it. And the guy says, it's freedom. You're truly free. You have to, take care of your own, but you're not beholden to any, utility bills or rent bills or mortgages or, everything you've got is already paid for. And if it didn't fit in the bus, you didn't need it. So it's one way of looking at it. So I was telling my husband, I said, I can live in one of those little houses. But my husband goes, yeah, but there's no room for stuff. I go, we don't need more stuff. We have enough stuff. We need to get rid of some stuff. I said, you live in one of those little houses. You got just what you need. And it's a cozy little place, and it's done. Unfortunately, now, I don't know if you guys ever seen holy crap, the prices of them now. You're spending over $100,000. You might as well just buy a big house. It's insane. Of course, now they're more elaborate and they're more popular. So you know how that goes. The bill goes up, 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 up. It's a bunch of crap. It is what it is. But I see some of them. They're so cute. Actually, I see one yesterday. It looked like a little English cottage. I'm like, oh, there it is. That's for me. It was all made out of stone. It was just the cutest thing. Full-size bathroom, bedroom. It was the cutest little thing. But yeah, you don't have a lot of room for extra, tchotchkes and crap like that. You don't need all that extra crap. As it says, you have a shed, you put your lawnmower and stuff in the shed. There you go. I think when you get to a certain point in your life, you need to start downsizing. Because you just don't need all that extra garbage. All it is something that collects dust or takes up space. That's about it. Wow, been rambling along. We already made the 2-hour mark. Fantastic. Some vehicles now cost as much as I paid for my house. Yes. My husband likes the I forget it. It's a Yukon, but it's a special. I don't know if it's a limited edition thing. It's a special Yukon, and it's over $100,000. I think, oh my God, George, I mean, this is more than we paid for our house. I mean, we lucked out on the price of our house because it's 2-family and we got it for a really good price, but that was 20 years ago. the cost of, and we had it estimated. Well, I had it checked and had it reassessed, and it's worth a shit ton of money now, which is great. So when the day comes and I sell it, then I can just go pick a little place and then have a little nest egg. Because after my parents are gone, then the house goes up for sale. I don't want to be a landlord. Too much garbage, too much stress, and it's too much house to hold on to. But yeah, so even the trucks and all that, they're 100,000. This when we were looking for a new truck, the guy was trying to sell us this truck. The mortgage or the truck payment would have been $1,000. I told the guy, I said, I'm not going to live in the thing. That's more than my mortgage payment. And he looked at me. I said, no. And then he looked at my husband. He goes, well, who makes the decisions? I go, we both do. And we both say no. And he kept badgering him like, you better back off. Excuse me. You keep badgering us. This isn't going to make us buy the damn thing. On top of that, it was a used truck. It wasn't brand new. And there was no way I was paying that kind of a payment. I said, boy, you must have fell down and bumped your head if you think go sell that truck to somebody else. And how determined he was, he kept calling my husband for like days afterwards. And finally, my husband had to get rude and he had to tell him to F off. He says, don't call me anymore. F off. I don't want it. You don't want to be rude sometimes to people, but wow. He really wanted to make a sale. So you want to sell it that bad? Buy it yourself. Excuse me. The coffee doesn't help with dry throat. Just the water does. And then the houses nowadays are too, same thing. So expensive. That's what my son was looking to buy. I said, search around. They looked around for 2 years and finally found something that was in a great area and with the perfect price. And it's a perfect starter home. So when they either enlarge their family or, whatever, they can always use that as a rental property and then buy a bigger home somewhere else. But they lucked out and it was worth the 2-year wait. It always pays to really shop around and wait. Now they deal with the truck there. My husband, it was over a year he shopped around before we finally decided on what we were going to get, and we got a good deal on it, and it was exactly what we wanted. And so people get excited. They're like, oh, I want it now. Well, now usually ends up costing you more money than you have to spend. And then I have a friend that he never buys brand new. He says, why bother? He says, because the majority of the time, it's either sitting in your driveway or in a parking lot at your job. He says, so you're paying all that money for it to look good in a driveway. He says, because how much time do you actually spend in the vehicle? And he's right. I mean, for him, it was just a way back and forth to work. And then they live in a farmhouse on a farmland. So, he enjoyed his property more than anything else. So they really didn't travel. So it made sense for him. I could see if, they were on the road all the time. So then you'd want that extra luxury for comfort. But I still wouldn't spend over $100,000 for a vehicle. It's not worth it. It's just like with those, oh God, the Tesla truck there. I call it the rolling garbage can. That is the ugliest thing. Oh God, they're awful. Awful. And people buy them. Just awful, awful, awful. Well, we have talked about everything. And that's the way I like it. I love it all. I really appreciate everybody coming to hang out with me tonight. It's always a joy, always a great pleasure. Sage, enjoy your dinner. Steph, enjoy your ride home. Everybody else, enjoy the rest of their evening. I really, really appreciate you guys' support. As always, please remember to hit that like button, comment, subscribe if you haven't. And again, check out the merch if you'd like to or not. It's great. Even if you just give me an opinion on it, would be great. I will be on again at some point this weekend. See you guys and share my fun weekend with you. But until then, everybody, thank you for joining in. And remember to live life a little